These are the top 5 cards I added to my decks in 2024 in my favorite format in Magic. The format, of course, is Highlander Gauntlet, one that I've talked about on here quite a bit. It's an expert level deck building format, and there's plenty of videos on this account talking about how it works, so let's talk about the 5 cards. Number 5 on this list is Carnage Interpreter. Black-red hybrid 1 for a 3/3 Devil Detective. When it enters the battlefield, discard your hand, then investigate 4 times, and it has Menace and +2/+2 as long as you have 1 or fewer cards in hand. I play this in a 4-color artifact aggro deck. It's a 1v1 20 life format, so efficiency and just like beefing up a creature like that can be really, really good. It's from the Clue gift set, and nobody really bought it, so nobody really has these cards, but there's some pretty cool ones. I think this is maybe the best original card from those, but it's really good in this deck. Number 4 on the list is Bria Riptide Rogue, a card I still don't have a copy of, which is why you're looking at this gross-looking proxy. Red-blue 2 for a 3/3 legendary creature auto rogue with prowess. Other creatures you control have prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. I play this in a blue-red prowess deck, and normally you just don't want to draw anything that costs more than 1 or 2 in that deck, but the reality is sometimes you just run out of gas if you're playing just a bunch of cantrips, and resolving this, untapping and casting a couple spells can sometimes just win the game. The unblockable feature is really what makes this card so good, and I have found this card to be pretty insane. Because the format requires that you build 6 unique 100 card decks with no repetitious cards between any of the 6, and it's 1v1 20 life, you're really having to stretch for ways to push strategies just over the top, because you can't just jam all the power into one deck. Because if I was just building one single 100 card deck like in Canlander, I don't know that this would make it. Number 3 is actually not a new card. This is a card that I just found out about, Alabu Ancient Witness. White-red 3 for a 4/5 legendary artifact creature golem. Other artifact creatures you control have haste. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control attack, Alabu deals X damage to any target, and you scry X, where X is the number of tapped artifacts you control. I play Alabu in that same 4-color artifact aggro deck, and when that deck has Soul Ring, and it has Mana Crypt and Mana Vault, and all those cards, because the only ban list is the reserve list in this format, so Mana Crypt is legal, a 5-drop kind of matters that it costs 5, except really it's just a very good, beefy card you can play at the top end after they're already at like 8, and because so many artifact lands and things like that are in the deck, this card just wins the game. Number 2, we're going Ocelot Pride, a card you guys all know about. White for a 1/1 first strike lifelink cat with Ascend. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, create a 1/1 white cat creature token. Then if you have the City's Blessing, for each token you control that entered this turn, create a token that's a copy. This is in a black-white Aristocrats tokens deck. Look, everybody knows how good this card is. I actually ripped that version from a play booster pack. Playing this card on turn 1 in any tokens deck on the play is just insane. This card is bananas. It's number 2. Number 1, I'm going Sheltered by Ghosts. Look, obviously this card is not just pound for pound more powerful than the other cards on this list, but it's so good in the strategy that it's in. White 1 for an enchantment or enchant creature you control. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield, and the enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has lifelink and ward 2. I play this in a green-white double strike, like Berserk Embiggen Giant Growth style deck that's just trying to close the game out with one big attack, and this card does everything. This card is tailor-made for the deck that I have, and the fact that it's not in a Horizon set, it's just in a standard set, but it's that good. This card blew my mind. It is actually that good. It is the best card I added to my wheel of 6 decks.